I can't believe this is something I've gone my whole life without eating. I love French onion soup. I mean, caramelized onions and broth and cheese. Come on! Twice baked potatoes, that's my go-to with a great steak. Why did it never occur to me to not put them together? I don't know, possibly brain damage? Who could know? The important part now is that we make up for lost time. We get this thing made right now. Let's get started making the twice baked stuffed French onion soup, potato, I don't know, whatever it is, it's delicious. Let's go. To get this party started, we're going to need a couple of nice clean potatoes. I got a big russet here. I cleaned it. I poked some holes in it. I coated it with some olive oil. I rubbed it down with some salt and the whole thing. It's going on a baking sheet in the oven at 400 degrees for about an hour. Now we're going to slice up a bunch of onions. Woo, that's why you use a guard with a mandolin always. This is a whole large yellow onion. This isn't a sweet onion or anything, just a regular yellow onion. We got 2 tablespoons of butter in our pan here. We want to keep this over a medium-low heat. I've got half a teaspoon of dried thyme. You can use fresh thyme, but thyme doesn't exist where I live, so fresh thyme isn't an option. Salt, pepper, and we're just going to keep stirring this down. Probably a teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of pepper, something at this point, and just keep stirring and stirring. It's been 25 minutes. It looks pretty good. Let's put a quarter cup of a nice red wine in here. Nothing too fancy, but something you'd want to drink. And get a nice wine facial there. And we're going to put 2 cloves of garlic in this. We're going to mince them real fine in our garlic press here and get all the goodness in there. Now just cook this for about another 2 minutes till the garlic is really nice and fragrant and all that. Now we're going to add a quarter cup of all-purpose flour here. This is going to help build our soup base. We do not want this to be runny and soupy. This is going in a potato, so it has to be a little firmer and thicker than a regular French onion soup. Now we got 2 cups of beef broth going in after that had cooked down for about 2 to 3, 4 minutes, something like that on the flour. Just make sure you cook the flour, otherwise it's going to get grainy and yucky and gross. We're going to do a taste test on this thing. It needs more salt and more pepper, and that's about it. This thing looks beautiful. You can see it's nice and thick and lovely. We're going to turn the heat off, and our soup's done. With the potato out of the oven, you've let it cool a little bit. It is time to basically just start making this thing. It's pretty easy from this point. All the hard work is done. This is the fun part. So the potato is cooled enough that I can pick this up without burning my hand. Of course, I have asbestos fingers. Don't try that at home. But you do want it cool enough that it's not going to try to kill you. Now grab the smallest knife you have, and what you want to do basically is just take off a little bit of our top here. And this is going to go back in the oven. So I'm doing this on the baking sheet, basically, as you can see here. And be delicate, because when you put the olive oil on this, the skin becomes very, very delicate. It's very easy to tear, so you have to be somewhat careful. You could do it without putting the olive oil and the salt on it, but it won't taste very good, so trade-offs. Okay, we are going to hollow this thing out, basically into our bowl here. You have to make room for all the goodness. All right, so I've hollowed out probably a couple hundred potatoes in my day, maybe roughly. If you're new to the twice baked potato game, just know that better is the enemy of good enough. It is way too easy to stick the spoon through the side of the skin and then you're screwed. So leave more is better than take too much. This is the point where I'm usually adding butter and sour cream and bacon and chives and all kinds of fun stuff to the potato, but we're putting French onion soup in this, so I'm just going to mash this so we don't have any big lumps, and we're going to get to assembling this thing. Now, there are 2 versions of this. There's kind of a casserole version where you take mashed potatoes basically and mix it with the French onion soup, put it in like a 9x9 or 13x9 pan, something like that, cover it in cheese and bake that whole thing and make that. That is one version. Twice baked potato, come on. Okay, now we have the French onion soup here. This is French onion soupy, and we are going to I'm going to try and get the most onions out of this as possible, so I'm using tongs. Otherwise, you would be using something more like a ladle or something for soup, obviously. But this is a thicker soup than usual. So we're going to get plenty of soupiness in here. Plus, it has sat, and it is cool because we don't want to kill ourselves with that as well. Just you know, it's okay. It's going in the oven. We're going to reheat it. It's okay that it's cooled a little. We're just going to mix this up a smidge. Oh, this is looking pretty good. We're going to put a lot more on top as well. This is just for the filling part. Remember, if you put too much in, you'll never get it back in the potato. It's okay. We'll eat it on the side. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing in here. I'm going to switch back to the spoon because that's what spoons do. I'm doing my car salesman voice again, aren't I? Sorry, I'll stop. Unless I get enough votes in the comment section for used car salesman voice guy, then it's on. I almost guarantee I won't be using that. Okay, we are getting there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We don't need this anymore. But we are still going to use this because now we are going to ladle on more of the goodness and just have this kind of as a topper on here to be super yummy. This is going to melt down the sides as well. Come on. This is going to be messy. Messy is good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't think I'm going to get much more on there. He said more on. And now for the fun part. Yes, we have cheese. Copious amounts of cheese. I have Gruyere and Parmesan right here that I have shredded up. Gruyere is usually a bit creamier than this. I live in a weird place and get limited selection of things, and I'm just lucky they had Gruyere at all. So we are going to put on as much as this can possibly handle. You want cheese on this. That is ridiculous amounts of cheese. Okay, a little bit of parm on top of this as well. This is delicious. And because I have what appears to be something of a potato skin. What? Oh yeah, chef's treat. Wouldn't be a chef's treat without one more thing. Bacon. That's a chef's treat, right? There you go. This is, I looked it up. The legal definition of a twice-baked potato does require some amount of bacon. So we can't call this a twice-baked potato without having some bacon on it. So I have some here that I fried up earlier. I'm just gonna rough chop this real fast. Come on, this. Oh, smell-o-vision. Come on. This smells so crazy. This cheese smells so good. Huh. I wonder if puppies like bacon. I guess we'll never know. I'm not showing you that on camera. By the way, she's sitting right here in front of me. She just looked at me like, say what? Hilarious. She's a ghetto dog. It's okay. That's her actual voice. She really was. She was a street dog from bad part of town. Greatest dog I've ever had. Reba. Reba the Wonder Mutt. Okay, this is going in the oven. We're going to bake this again. I got the oven at 350 this time. Basically, we just want to melt the cheese, get this thing nice and hot. Nothing in here is terribly cold, so except the cheese. When the cheese is melted, we'll be back. It is time to dig into this thing and show you what all our hard work has gotten us. You're dying to see one of these. Unless you've had this before, you're probably sitting there just as excited as I am to see what the inside of this looks like. I'm not going to make you wait any longer. Let's dig in. Yes, I have a spoon because it's soup. Couldn't decide if it was a spoon or fork kind of moment. You can never go wrong with a spoon. Unless it's fork time. And then you can really go wrong with a spoon. Oh. And seriously, I've never had one of these. I have no idea what I'm in for right now. Yeah, that works. You wanna get a view of this? Let me see if I can turn this around here for this camera. You're seeing this? Are you seeing this? Yeah. Okay. I'm cutting off a piece. I'm eating it. The thumbnails are already done and all that. Although I should probably take a thumbnail of that, because that right there, that might be money. That might be the money shot. Wait 2 seconds for it, wait. All right, enough dilly-dallying. First you get jibber-jabber, now you get dilly-dally. I swear. I don't know what's wrong with me. I know what's about to be wrong with me. Oh, come on. Look at this. That's gorgeous. It's beautiful. We got a nice bit of potato in there, all the goodness. And this soup was so good. Seriously, I can't wait. Bacon? I don't know if I've ever had bacon with French onion soup before. This should be good. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, that's a flavor bomb. That's a flavor. Oh my God, I want a steak right now. Oh my God, I wish I had a steak. I wish I could get a steak. I haven't been able to find a decent steak. I don't know if you have the same problem where you're at, but I have not been able to buy a decent steak in over a year. Oh, it's really frustrating. Even went to a fancy butcher and spent like $170 on a couple of steaks. Complete garbage. Some of the worst steaks I've had forever. So that's that's annoying. But oh, I need a steak. Oh, I need a steak. So whoever's in charge of the steak industry and the cattle and the whole thing and beef and all that stuff, figure your mess out and put some decent steaks out on the market, please. Grow them cattle right, do it up good, and give us some good steaks finally, please. Okay. Back to this thing. The flavor on this. The flavor on this is absolutely stupid good. Stupid good. The French onion soup has a very rich flavor to it. The potato kind of helps mellow that out quite a bit and makes it perfect. Yeah, the soup should be a little bit warmer in there because by the time the cheese melted, the inside isn't as hot as you probably want it in this particular one. So keep the soup a little bit hotter. That's just a piece of advice from eating this one to that one and the whole thing. You see, it's holding together pretty good. It should be running out of this. It's not cold, but it's not overly warm. I would want it warmer if I was critiquing. So I'm going to have to deduct a couple of points off the chef for that one. There we go, keeping track at home. Yep. So there you have it. If you've never had one of these, I can assure you that you need to ASAP. This combo is so perfect, it really should be the national dish of like Afghanistan or something. It's a bit of work, but not too bad. I mean, you saw how he did this. It's not terrible. Plus, if you're new to cooking, you just mastered a whole bunch of great new skills, and think of all the stuff that you can make with those new skills. I mean, that was worth the price of admission for the video alone, right? If you have any other suggestions of your favorite steakhouse sides, please let me know. See if I'm missing anything else. I can't wait to learn something new. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. I love the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.